It is a very, very nice morning. You can probably see that it's a little bit overcast. I have been avoiding getting these guys out in the morning flies due to falcons and the heat, mainly falcons. So the plan today is to clean these lofts out because they're getting pretty messy. And we'll get out the older birds. I've got some older birds in there, but we'll get the older ones out first. And then if the coast is clear, we can get these guys out. If they don't get touched up or chased by the falcon, then these guys can come out. The older ones, they're fine. They know how to deal with the falcon. These guys don't. My main goal is to get these young birds here, the first lot, to get them as good as flying as the older ones, and then we might fly them with the older ones. If you do know that I do have older birds that I've brought that haven't been let out before from someone else, so we are going through difficulties in getting them up to speed as well. So a large part of the older birds will be treated as young birds as well. They need to range. We've got to toss them the same. So I don't really see an issue in bringing these guys over with them and just pushing them, just getting them up together. So these guys, we need to get them out today. Trying to go twice a day now. I want them kidding and I want them fluent, especially with the old ones. You know, there's a few red ones in there that are giving me a little bit of trouble. They are the ones that we brought. They are a bit of a handful at the moment, so that's why I'm trying to get them out twice a day. I'm going to start doing it anyway, hopefully before the weather gets too hot, just so that we can get these guys really fluent. There's basically 4 red ones there that are giving me a bit of trouble. One of them will sit out all day, won't come in, so I've been restricting their food a little bit, trying to bring these guys back into line, so when these guys go over, we might have some fine chance for next season. So let me jump in here, give this loft a bit of a clean out, then we'll get the old birds out, we'll get these ones out, and then I'll show you all these new little young ones that I've brought over in here. There's actually quite a few in here you haven't seen, so let's get some cleaning done first. Alright, so I like to keep the cleaning pretty simple anyway. Scrapers for the floor, big one, and then just 2 different types of scrapers for the perches. So a really stiff one for the hard ones, and then a bigger one just for making things a bit easier around the place. The big one's a little bit more flexible, it's not the best. And then mask. At the moment I'm cleaning every second day, just pretty busy at the moment, but as these lofts get full, at the moment they're not too bad, they will get full, they're starting to get pretty bad now, well, to the point where I'd like to do it every day, which is going to start happening. Let's get into it. Yeah, Mum, out you come. I need to clean, come on. Just stay out there. Alright, that is done. Little young birds are out now. Let them have this section for a little while. Fly the older birds now, so let's get into it. Let's get these older birds in the line. The whole loft changing and all the other bits and pieces that's gone on since I've moved here. Yeah, it's been fun. So we're trying to get all these birds back into line before the season, which is still 7 or 8 months away, so we've got time, but we need to do it before summer hits, because then it gets too hot to do a lot of this type of morning and afternoon flying. So it's time to come out. Let's find out. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, even you lazy ones. Ah, the mealy and the strawberry, come on. Let's see how they go. Okay, so the only reason and only way I'm using this flag at the moment, I don't want to scare them too much, is when we get birds on the roof. That is one thing I do not want, and it's not going to happen. There's flies all over me. We've got a little barless hen up here. Got to keep her in line basically. She's the only one left of the barless birds. She is going to go into the breeding loft soon anyway, and she's landed back up there. I only let her out just to give her a bit of a stretch of her wings, and if she wants to go back in, she can. She usually does go back in, but at the moment she's just enjoying it. Hopefully they'll trap quick, wire up fine, get a bit more footage, and I'll get some food organised for them so it's in there. I just don't want to do it too soon so they just don't see me with the bucket and want to come down. So I'll set it over there, but I'll be ready for them. So if you can see that little dot up there above me, that's them. They're flying really well this morning. I don't want to jinx it. Barless hen a few times on the roof. Thinks in the morning times I'm not going to let her out like that. I'm going to get their food set up anyway. I've got some already here ready to go. Just need my little container. They're pretty light on at the moment. I'm just using the very generic mix. I'm not giving anything too special because they're not really doing anything apart from loft flying. They actually are really high, which is really good. So good sign. They're definitely improving. Morning flies are probably better, but riskier. So you'll see on top, there's a barless hen. A little bit of a problem, but the biggest problem I've got is the mealy on the right, this one over here. Got a lot of work to do with this big boy. He always wants to land on the roof. He does his own thing, but we'll get there. We've just got to whip him into gear. He is well bred, so we need to give him the benefit of the doubt that, you know, he's just a little bit young and stupid still. And this hen here is also a problem. It's basically the I think it's four reds that are giving us trouble, but we'll get them. That's what we're doing, whipping them into gear. The others are still ripping it up. Here they come. But we'll get them. We'll sort them out shortly. Which red check is that one? Oh, is that what you think's going on, do you? You think it's just roam around the grass and have free time play? Nice looking little bird, this one. Don't know if it's a cock or hen, because like I said, I've got some really strange happenings going on with some of these. They don't know whether they're males or females. They're pairing up with both sexes, so oh well, we'll just try and wait a little bit longer and hope the other ones come in. Looks like they're getting ready to come in. I'm trying to do some other jobs as well, trying to be productive, because they seem to have stayed up a lot longer than what I thought they would have. They keep trying to land, so I think it's time for them to come in and we can get the other young birds out. Mealy and red checker again on the ground, having a bit of a peck around like chickens. It's either flying on the loft or in the loft. That's the only options here at the moment. Let's see if we can get them in. I'll get a little bit of food in there for them, and then I'll hopefully set that camera up so we can try and get them coming in. Okay, that was actually pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shut it in here for a bit. And now that we've got a few extra hens in here, I'll let them out. So we've got both Storm, Little Shock, sorry, and that's her sister. But we've also got Storm up there and Storm's daughter. So we just got them separated in here for the time being so we can repair them. What I did yesterday is I let them out. I put some grits in there, things like a bit of pink mineral powder. And they also had a bath in here as well. So they all come out, had a bath, which is really good. Just giving them a little bit of a break before we do try and repair them. They're both pretty flighty, these ones. They're not used to being in this loft. So there's Storm. She's not, yeah, she's a little bit unhappy about being in here, but that's okay. And this is her sister, no, daughter, sorry. I'm getting so confused. There's so many sisters and brothers and daughters and all this kind of stuff going on in here. So those hens are just sitting in here for the time being. These guys, what I'll do is I'll take that little feed tray out. Surprisingly, they've done pretty well. That was probably just over 30 minutes of continuous flying, apart from one red checker and one mealy, and only a light feed too to get them in pretty quickly. And then they will get another feed this afternoon when I let them out for another fly. They'll get a heavier feed, but it's good. It's working. I'm trying to whip them into gear. No, Beefcake, what are you doing? But they all had about a tablespoon each there. Well, the ones that got in first probably got a little bit more than that. And then we'll get them out again this afternoon for a proper fly. Well, another one, now the weather's nice and clear. And we didn't have any hawks, falcons, nothing like that. So it's time for these little babies to come out. These guys are trying to get over there. Shut these little babies up. Let's go. Okay, so wow, this is really good. Look at them starting to get together, hanging out, sort of doing the kidding thing, which is really good and up pretty high. We may even see a little bit of ranging action. This is what I wanted. I wanted them up together and starting to kit, which you know, they're hanging together a bit. They're up pretty high. And they're all sort of zooming and carrying on. That's good to see. Let's hope we don't have any trouble. There's quite a lot of little young birds up there, so it'd be good to get this flock in, mingled in with the older ones. Maybe in a week or two, just depends how they go. But they are flying really well. It's a little bit dark today to see things, but this weather really fires them up and it's quite good to get them out. So they will be back out again this afternoon. And look how well they're kidding. That is unreal. I've got one sitting on top of the loft here, especially because most of those, probably about half of those are the $20,000 ring race birds. So I kind of want to get them up. And actually, here's one of the $20,000 ring race birds here. That's one of the Vanderbilt cross storm birds. He isn't too interested in flying. And they are zooming around like no tomorrow, going up really high and then just going coming through. This is good. They're really sort of getting comfortable. Oh, here they come. That's good. I'm happy that these guys are doing what they're meant to be doing. They've split up a little bit because they're actually having a bit of a play and really enjoying themselves today. They are sort of cruising around everywhere. You'll see them in the background. My main goal is to get these guys kitting and really strong in the wing as quick as possible. There is two different age groups in here. There's the first lot, the second lot. I've sort of crammed them together into one lot, and then we've still got those little squeakers we're weaning out. We'll have a look at those in a minute because I've put a lot more in there. These guys are flying pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I'm going to follow this process quite closely because I know a lot of you guys would be interested. He's trying to land on me. About the whole process of getting these guys into gear, especially for me. Yeah, this is going to be my first season, so it's going to be interesting to see where we go wrong, things we do right, whatnot. One of Shock's sons up there, the big checker, he actually flies really well. He's probably one of the last to come down. He's gone off out there. Here he comes by himself. Who's that one? So yeah, we've got a lot of ones who just watch and see who does the best. So I'm going to put this down and put it back up when we trap them in. I'll just let them have a bit of a play around. Mum. Come on. One more, come on. Okay, so that was pretty good. We got them all in really quickly. They're probably about 20-25 minutes, which is not too bad, sort of fluffing around. Still one of Shock Son's coming through here. He's still ripping it up. So what we'll do, I'm not going to disadvantage him. If he wants to keep flying, which it's a really good sign, I'm going to give him his own separate little bit of a feed at the moment. He's just ripping it up like no tomorrow. Here he comes again through these trees. He's just like a bullet, this guy. He does want to come in, but I think I scared him a bit when I had the camera and microphone there, so he'll come in a minute. But as I said before, he's definitely one of the ones to watch, I think. Oh, textbook landing. He came in so hot then I couldn't even get the film on him quick enough, but he is a super looking pigeon, and we're gonna have to keep an eye on him. That little bit of storm and that little bit of shock in him. Oh yeah, come on. I'm gonna give you your own little feed. Come on. All right, let me get him sorted out by himself. You guys come out. I'm gonna give this bird a little bit of food. I'm not gonna disadvantage him for being an absolute champion like that. So I'll put a little bit of food in here for him. He's gonna get out again today, so we'll just give him just like a half a teaspoon for now. And then we'll get him back out later for him to get a bit more decent feed. It's more of a treat this morning one. Righto. Here he is. This is a big guy. Oh, he wants to have a drink first. Come on, have a little bit of a feed, buddy. You deserved it. You are definitely setting the standards high for the first round of young birds. I'm just going to shut this door up because every other little baby wants to come in here. You guys can get special treatment too. You learn if you fly better. These all trap really well though. I'm pretty happy how they all trap. Hopefully this afternoon he does the same thing. Right, I'm going to take this food off yours, and then this can all go into your section by yourself because I'm going to allow the little babies out. We're going to have a bit of a look at them. He's still having this little bit of a snack there, which is really good. Come on. So this is one of the reasons why I'm considering, obviously last year when we bred Shock with the red hen, the babies weren't really that good. There's a couple that flew pretty well, the others were not so exciting, but this year with that little bit of Storm and Leo in it, mixed into Shock, it's actually proving to be pretty special. This is one of the oldest ones we've got out of this year's breeding. We've got a hen in there and two blue bars which are a little bit younger, and we just weaned out two more which are basically going to be spitting images of this one, so I will show you them in a second. And that pair, Shock, and that hen going down again for another round, and then that's it. So what I'm considering doing is pairing up maybe little Shock maybe and her sister, although the red hen in them is, you know, questionable. I feel like if we breed maybe that back into one of Leon Storm's babies, or, you know, like this checkered cockbird over the back there that's crawling around, this one, that we might be able to produce something pretty special. So we do have two hens that we can use from last season, which are pretty nice. I feel like we do need to test out little Shock to try and produce some more like this. Just those Leo and Storm into these Steph Van Reets is producing some pretty nice results. Like this guy, it's a pretty solid bird and he's only still a little young one. I'm pretty excited. So I'm going to get him back in this section, and then we'll go in here and have a look at all these little babies. Righto, little guys, let's come and have a bit of a look in here. Okay, so this is my weaning section. This is the next lot. These guys are the first lot, combined two lots into one, and they seem to be doing pretty well. But this is the next lot. There's 12 in here, and I still have another 4 or so to come over into here before we, you know, start training these ones seriously. There's still a few quite young ones in here, so we're going to try and bunch them together as best as possible. So, yep, Vanderbilt, we'll send you quite a bit. We'll have a look at these little Shock ones. We've got a few new ones in here. That's one of the big Vanderbilts. He's very big like his father. Have a look at that little red checker. It's doing pretty well. So this is one of the Vanderbilts cross one of Leon Storm's daughters. still quite a feisty little thing. Pretty interesting to see how this thing turns out. It's a very beautiful little pigeon, this one. Most of them are. I'm pretty impressed how they're all turned out this season. But these are two more of Shocks. These big dark checkers. There's another one here too. Looks like we've got two in one round here. So we've got this, there's two here. So I'm pretty excited to test these ones out. They're both going to be pretty decent sized birds. Just like the cockbird I was showing you, I'm interested to see how they go. Giving them, you know, equal opportunity to sort of punch it out and do some pretty good stuff for us. And I want to have a look at this Vanderbilt. Well, here's another one. He's actually the red checker's nest mate. So he's a pretty solid bird as well. He's going to be quite nice nest mates. So this one might be a hen, this one might be the cockbird here. But he's actually going to be a pretty big bird. He's got that dirty, sooty gene in him, so he's got those really dark feet. Similar to the other one we bred, but he's a little bit camera shy, but they are looking really good. Quite long, means he's in some big wings there too. He's going to fill out to be quite a solid, muscly bird. They're both going to be fantastic little babies. Excited about those ones. We've seen those ones. The rest of them are all heading out there. I like opening this up, letting all the little babies go out. So these are looking fantastic. These parents will go down for probably 2 more rounds. They've got eggs that are about not far from hatching again, and we'll let them go down again because they are producing some sensational little babies. Pretty excited to see how these ones turn out. Oh, they're still a little bit clumsy. And we've got our first, well, tiger grizzle baby, but this one's a blue grizzle. These babies have got a lot of attitude this year, which is really good. This one in itself is quite a nice, big, strong bird. Same thing, it's got a lot of filling out to do. And that one there might be one of Leon Storm's babies. Checker, there is a blue bar in here, same as that as well. So we've got a lot to look forward to. And these ones are starting to crow too, so it's pretty crazy that they are maturing quite quickly. But pretty excited to get these guys out soon, which won't be too far off. So, I'm pretty impressed today. I feel like it might be more the weather. I have been sort of, you know, focusing a lot more on the amount of food that I give them and when I give it to them. And, you know, trying to get some discipline and structure in there, getting these guys all in line, which is really good. These guys, pretty good. There's only a couple birds there, which are the 4 reds that we really got to work on. And then the rest of these guys will just implement the same thing. Seems to be working pretty well. You've seen all those young birds, the second lot that went out, they flew really good. And they were starting to kit together, and then they come in pretty well, apart from that one at the end. But, you know, he seems to be on a different level than all of them, so we've got to keep an eye on him. And he probably needs a name too. These guys, they're going to get a bit of a shock. We're going to work on them a fair bit more. But what I need to do very soon is start working on all these perches. Probably going to start in one section at a time. I'm not going to, yeah, I'm trying to build a certain type that's going to make it really easy to clean. I can pull them out, all kind of stuff. So we'll do one section if that works, and we'll go through each section and sort them out. We'll probably have just perches in every section. I'm going to try and get 30 in every section if I can. More so similar to this, but off the wall, and a bit more dimensions change. So stay tuned. I'm pretty happy how today went. If you've got any advice, tips, anything like, put them down below, because we're getting you know, the race season will quickly approach us, so we need to get moving. We need to get all these young birds sorted, and we need to get more young birds in here and try and shut it off so we can really just focus on training them and just getting them in top condition. So see you soon.